Hi, I'm Dan. Welcome to my shop and thanks again for your purchase. Let's get this cantilever side table set up. So first thing to do is find the wide open space. Living room floor is perfect with a carpet or rug so we don't scratch up the pieces. I like to spread everything out and I like to put the hardware, there's very few pieces, in a cookie tray so I don't lose anything. Make sure that all of the pieces correspond to one set in case you have two tables. They'll be labeled, if there's more than one table in your box, they'll be labeled 2 or 1 at the bottom. And on the edges of these pieces, on the side pieces. We'll take a side assembly. They've been packed with these strings loose so that the knot doesn't get in the way, but you can pull that through on the wedge side. And we're going to find the side piece that has 1 dot and 2 dots marked on the knot side, on the inside. And those are going to correspond to the dots that are marked on the ends of the cross pieces. So I've got this 2 dot piece that connects, and so the dots are touching on the bottom. The wedge has an acute angle and a right angle. The right angle is always going to touch the piece. So the right angle will fall down. In this case, the knot will be facing the back or the outside of the piece. And we're going to push that in. Finger tight is fine for now. The top cross piece has the signature and dedication facing under the table, facing inside, and it's also marked with a dot. Here's 1 dot, and this corresponds to a 1 dot mark that's on my side piece. And we'll fit the other side piece. Once those wedges are in, you'll find an enclosed wooden block. We can use that with a hammer to tap them all the way in. Perfect. That's all there is to the bottom part of the base. We're going to attach the top now. To do that, I like to roll this over so that the joint is pointing up, and you'll find your 2 threaded rods in your hardware, and we're going to put that into these threaded inserts. Once those threaded rods are threaded all the way in, we'll take the top, the number 2 top that corresponds to the number 2 base, and we're going to slide it, the holes on the flat side, on the straight side, down onto these threaded rods. Once that's done, you'll find your curved washers, and they're going to sit in the hole so that the curve accompanies the curve of that hole. And then comes these nuts. I like to balance one on top and use a finger from the other hand to screw them down. Once they're seated, we use an included wrench. You're going to have to use the open end, and you can use it both ways to tighten these nuts. We want to tighten them until those curved washers compress down into the wood fibers quite a bit, so that everything is, so that there's no movement between the table and the base. Great. Once those are tightened down, you're going to locate the caps that cover the hardware. They're also labeled. In this case, it's 2, A and B. And the A on the cap is going to touch the place inside the hardware hole that says A or B. And those will get screwed down with these tiny gold color screws. These we don't want to tighten too much because it is possible to break the wooden cap. We don't want to do that. So just use a screwdriver and make sure they touch, but they don't have to be super tight. Okay, if you're assembling a cantilever table that doesn't have the magazine rack, that's it. If there is the magazine rack, here's how we set that up. These dowels will fit through the holes and accept the sewn tabs on the rack. What I like to do is leave the shiny side in so that you see it more. Kind of put that into position and start working a dowel through the hole and then through each of the tabs until it comes out on the other side. Great, this should hang so that the knots for the wedges are inside the loop of the magazine rack. And there we have it. It's all set. Thanks again, and enjoy your coffee table.